If you've ever been hangry, you know the power food has over your mood. Now think about it. I'm kind of hungry right now for a snack. So what do I choose? I have some veggies with hummus and a very delicious gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. Now what should I eat if I want to have a great afternoon and productive afternoon? I'm Robin Thomas, the founder of Living Well Connections, a healthy living community that supports, educates, and empowers us all to make healthy decisions toward a more balanced and fulfilling life. I have a background in medical research, and I love exploring the interplay of our physical, mental, and spiritual selves. Have you ever thought about the surprising connection between what we're eating and how we feel? I actually had never thought about that before we began to see some distinct patterns in my son's behavior, depending on what he ate. This was over 30 years ago, and at first, since he's diabetic, we thought it was specifically to do with sweets raising his blood sugar. And though that's true that high blood sugars lead to crankiness and fatigue, there was something else going on. As he got older, he began to have definite trouble with both his digestion and his anxiety. Still, it took too many years before I finally learned about the distinct connection between the brain and the gut, and that they constantly communicate in many ways. The most common way is through the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve it's a cranial nerve that starts in the brainstem and runs all the way down to the large intestine. The vagus nerve is responsible for regulating a wide variety of internal functions. Some of these are digestion, respiratory rate, heart rate, blood pressure, and even immune responses. And sneezing and swallowing too. Thought that was interesting. I think it's incredible 20 years ago, I didn't even know the vagus nerve existed. Now, despite what you've been taught in school, the gut isn't just the site of digestion and nutrient absorption. The gut is busy gathering information and sending it to the brain via the vagus nerve, which affects emotions and mental well-being. This gut-brain connection works both ways. Have you ever been nervous or upset about some event coming up, maybe a doctor's appointment? Have you felt that tingling in your gut at the same time that can even go so far as to make you feel sick to your stomach? That's because of the vagus nerve. Careful studies have shown that there's another major player in this connection, and a curious one at that. In fact, this other player isn't a sole entity at all, but a system of trillions of bacteria and other bugs, microscopic bugs, known as your gut microbiome. These gut bacteria also send signals to the brain. For example, when the microbiome is healthy, the communication tells the brain when you're full, so you naturally stop eating. It also shifts your mood, making you irritable when you haven't eaten. But what's so important for our overall mood, our gut microbes influence the secretion of brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. More than 50% of dopamine in the human body is synthesized by gut microbiome, and 90% of the serotonin. Now, if you don't know, dopamine is responsible for that rush of joy you get when you accomplish a goal or succeed at a task. Dopamine perks your brain up and brings feelings of pleasure. Serotonin is often called your body's natural feel-good chemical. When serotonin is at normal levels, you'll feel more focused, emotionally stable, happier, and calmer. Low levels of serotonin are associated with depression and fatigue. Changes in the gut microbiome from a healthy balance to a more inflammatory balance decreases serotonin regulation. Now, in a little bit, I'll share 3 secrets to supercharge your mood with food.
Hello, fantastic friends. This is Robin Thomas, and I'm interrupting this episode to share a wonderful guide I've written to help myself and others get started with any health transformation, called 5 Ways to Get Started with Healthy Habits Without Getting Overwhelmed. This free guide leads you through 5 small steps that will allow you to ease into healthy habits until they become a natural part of your life. It's wonderful if you're just not quite sure how to get started. As you feel better, you'll become comfortable with your healthy habits and begin an upward spiral momentum of wellness. As a bonus, you'll be invited to join my healthy living community on Facebook, Living Well Connections, where you will find more information and heart-centered support for living your best life. To get this helpful guide, go to robinthomas.biz/community-support, and I'll put it in the show notes too. Drop in your email and it'll arrive straight in your inbox. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Now, what does the food we eat have to do with this gut-brain axis and the gut microbiome? If you've ever been hangry, you know the power food has over your mood. Now think about it. I'm kind of hungry right now for a snack. So what do I choose? I have some veggies with hummus and a very delicious gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. Now, what should I eat if I want to have a great afternoon and productive afternoon? You know, I love cookies, and that's just really tempting. And I just want to think about how it will backfire. If I eat just this cookie, it will backfire and my blood sugar will sink and I will start feeling sluggish and miserable the rest of the day. So what would you choose? Now, everyone knows it's important to eat plenty of vegetables in our diet, but you may not know why. Basically, when we eat, we're feeding our gut microbiome. Yeah, that's right. We're feeding about 100 trillion microorganisms that live in our gut. Remember when I said changes in the gut microbiome from a healthy balance to a more inflammatory balance decreases serotonin regulation? In other words, it makes us feel like shit. Well, that healthy balance depends on what we feed them. Studies show that those who eat more vegetables tend to have a more diverse microbiome with many different beneficial bacteria represented. And those who eat a diet filled with mostly processed foods tend to increase inflammatory bacteria in the gut, which really messes with your digestive system. Bleh. Are you ready to supercharge your mood with food? You don't have to jump into the deep end with your diet to make a difference in your mood. Simply stop a moment when you sit down to eat and ask, who would you rather feed, the good or the bad bacteria? Here are 3 simple tips to help you get started right away. The first one, minimize your intake of saturated fats. Unsaturated fats like olive oil and avocados promote healthier bacteria. And saturated fats tend to increase the bugs that negatively impact gut health. Number 2, start increasing a variety of fiber-rich vegetables. Veggies contain many complex starches and fiber your body can't break down completely on its own. Instead, it depends on the gut bacteria to break down some of the fiber. And in the process, the bacteria create short-chain fatty acids that support our gut health. Even adding 1 new vegetable a week is helpful. Number 3, consider adding probiotic foods and supplements to your diet. Probiotics support a healthy balance of beneficial bacteria to your gut. If you eat dairy, choose unsweetened yogurt, not artificially sweetened, but unsweetened yogurt with fresh or frozen berries. Now, if dairy isn't your thing, you can try fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, or sourdough. Probiotic supplements that are guaranteed are also a great way to help you find beneficial balance of gut bacteria. Just be aware, a lot of the probiotic supplements on the shelves have died. They're not going to do any good. Remember, we truly are what we eat. Even your mood is affected significantly through the gut-brain connection and gut microbiome. Choosing the right foods nourishes good bacteria, leading to better emotional well-being and happiness. Next week, we'll explore how specific nutrients can act as a chill pill when added to a healthy diet, and how even small nutrient insufficiencies can have major consequences.
Thank you so much for joining me at my Over 40 and Fabulous podcast. Please let me know if you have any questions about this episode. I will publish new episodes at noon Eastern on Saturdays, so you can listen and watch at your convenience. If this podcast has been helpful for you, please share it on your favorite social media platform or share directly with your fantastic friends. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next episode.
It's good.